Welcome back. Once you have established the connectivity to your business application from your IGA product, next step you do pull the data. We call it as aggregation in SailPoint. Both Identity IQ, I don't know. Your product may be using a different terminology. Once we pull the data, we look into entitlements. Entitlement is nothing but basic access. So once you got the entitlements, on top of the entitlements, you need to work on building your access model. So entitlement represents a single access, a basic access. Often end users will be, requiring a set of accesses so that they can do the job in that application, correct? So they need to get access to more than one entitlement. It is recommended to build access model, nothing but, collection of those entitlements. At application side, they will be having predefined sets of these entitlements as a required access for the end users. So you need to work with your application team to get those access model. So it's recommended to have an access model template for your IAM team or IGA team. That template we can use for every application when we onboard. It's the same template we can have. So what we do, if you take Identity IQ, we create IT roles. IT role is nothing but collection of entitlements. In Identity now we call it as access profile. In Identity IQ you create a IT role which is collection of entitlements from any application. But in Identity now it's from same application. What does that mean? You cannot add entitlements from multiple applications into single access profile. You cannot do that. That's the only difference, remaining everything same. Next, create business roles. In Identity IQ, we create business role, which is collection of IT roles. Whereas roles is nothing but collection of access profiles. So in Identity IQ, the RBAC we call role-based access control. I think but we call it as an access model, So in Identity IQ, entitlement and then IT role and then business role. In Identity now, same way, entitlements, access profiles, and then roles. So there are some differences with respect to SailPoint, Identity IQ, and I don't know when you are building this access model, but core concepts is same. Okay, so there IT role we call here we call it as access profile. In Identity IQ you call it as business role. In Identity now we call it as a role. That's it. So if you take Identity now we have an additional concept called as application, which is nothing but you know the application gives you functionality of reset password. Plus it helps you can group the list of access profiles into a single application. When you go to the request center, you can choose the application uh, which access you are looking for. Instead of looking over all the access profiles, thousands of access profiles, you can look into that particular application which will list down the accesses or access profiles created on that specific application. So and we add access profiles to that application. And segment, yeah, the concept of segment is there in Identity now to limit the access what user can see and request for. Okay, in Identity IQ we call it as dynamic population. So this is the basic access model template which I use in my previous projects, which I'll recommend for you to use in whichever the project you are working on. In case if you have a different access template documentation, it is okay. You can go ahead and use as per your organization standards. In case if you do not have anything, if you are proposing a new, I mean, if you do not have any access model template like this, then yeah, I recommend you to use like this. So application name, your business application name, and application owner. So it's better to have more than one owner. Uh, and application description. So there will be a business application business description for your application, right? What is the purpose of it? It's good to get that. And then access profile name. The standard of access profile name should be application name. Example, I have taken Prism : access profile name. That is the recommended standard. What will happen if I do not use this standard? Nothing will happen. There is no harm. You can have any name you want to, but if you follow the standards, those are going to give you a lot of advantages and benefits while working on different requirements. Okay, so every access profile is nothing but collection of entitlements, right? So what is your entitlement? Example, I have given it as a group or profile. If you take Salesforce, permission set, profile, business roles, a lot of entitlements will be there. If you take Active Directory, just an attribute called member of, nothing but group, right? So every application has different sets of attributes, which is marked as access related attributes, also known as entitlements. So have those entitlement based attributes here. Okay, and then you will have what kind of access is going to be, or what kind of values going to be part of this access profile. So then come to know whether it's a privileged access or not. Means it is going to give you super access. And then approver 1, approver level 2. So most of the scenarios we will go for 2 level approvals. First level approval is always manager, second level approval will go to application team. This is the standard we use. So again, it can change as per your requirements and as per your application and as per your organization governance standards as well. Okay, so share this template with your application team and ask them to, you know, fill this data with all the predefined sets of accesses. And then once you get this template, you can go ahead and, since you are a business analyst, if you are okay to create, or even if you're a technical professional, so you can create the access profiles as per this data given by application team. Or if you are a business analyst, give it to your technical team. They can create it for you. Okay. So if you take identity IQ, it is also similar there. Instead of access profile name, you will call it as business role name, and it will contain what kind of attributes, entitlement attributes and values. Okay. So in identity IQ, we will have business role given by application team. What is the name they would like to have? So there also, it is good to have a business role name as application name colon access name, which is user friendly, right? Also, when you see the role name, you should be able to identify which application it is easily. That is why standard is very important. Okay, so in identity now we will create access profile, and then we can add it to the role, or we can add it to the application that I'll show you in a minute. In Identity IQ, you can create a IT roles for those entitlements, and you can attach those IT roles in the business role. This is how SailPoint Identity IQ is going to look like. Maybe some of you might be thinking like, hey, why do I need to learn Identity IQ if I'm learning identity now? I don't think someone will be questioning why should I learn identity now, because I don't think I need to answer that question. It is good to know both the products, Identity IQ and I didn't know, because bit more knowledge is always helpful. Second, you might be working on migration projects as well from Identity IQ to I didn't know. There it is going to be helpful to you. Okay, so if you go to Identity IQ, click on Setup Roles. You can create your role here. So new role, and then you will select the type as IT role. Then you can add entitlements from your applications. I don't have any data in my SailPoint. It's a brand new installation. Once you create that IT role, then you are going to select the type as business role. You create one more role, business role, and then you are going to add the required roles, which will give you the IT role list. Okay. Once you add this business role, you can go to manage. You can automate this access by using assignment rule. You can have some conditions or scripts or rule or population. You can have different kinds of logic to implement assignment rule, which will automatically add this role to the end users as per the configuration you have given here. Okay, so if you wanna request for this role, I mean manually by the end users, then you can go to manage access, manage user access. So you can select the user, and next step you are going to see all the access. This is how you are going to request for it. So now if you go to global settings, you see we have quick link population. So you can open this in debug as well. So it will be available as, sorry, I think I said dynamic population, it's dynamic scope. The technical object name is dynamic scope, whereas business friendly name is quick link populations. So everything in Identity IQ, these are quick links, right? So that's why they call it as quick link populations. Okay, so you can control, for example, help desk, they'll have what kind of quick links they can see. This is controlled. Okay, so in the configuration you can have here who can members request for, what can they request, what can they remove. So all the settings you have, it is a bit development related work, not a configuration. Everywhere you see it's rules, rule development is required. You can give the requirement to your technical team, they will be able to build your requirement. Similarly, in identity now, you can go to access model, entitlements. This is where you see all the entitlements. The user interface is different. Some terminology is different, but core concepts is same in identity IQ and I don't know, a lot of stuff is same. So you can go to access model and go to access profiles. Here you can create new access profile. Okay, so you give the name, let's say test access profile, give the owner, then select the source, save. Then if you go to next tab, manage entitlements, here you, so if you remember when we were creating IT role in Identity IQ, we didn't select the source there. Our source is nothing but application in Identity IQ. Okay, so we have another concept application. That's why we call it as source in identity. Now there is a purpose for application. I'll explain in a minute. So you select the source. Once you select the source, only the entitlements from that source are displayed here. Only Active Directory entitlements will be displayed. Once you select your entitlements as per your access model template given or filled by your application team, you can create access profile as per your requirements. Then you have control whether you want to allow access request or not. There, just like how you created the role, there also you can enable the role, and then you know go for approvals here. Okay, next go to the roles, create new. I can go to existing role. So if you go to the manage access option, you can add the access profiles. There was a question actually, why do I need to create access profile? Just because in role I can add access profile only. That is why SailPoint added entitlements as well into roles. You do not need to create access profile just to add the entitlements to the role. You can directly add entitlements to the role as well. This is a new feature. It's not exactly like brand new. It's been at least 1.5 years since it's been, but as per as my knowledge, not this is not much used because there are a lot of other considerations as well you need to take while you are creating access profiles. Why, you will come to know when we are dealing with applications. Second, if the client is existing, I mean your SailPoint, I don't know, environment is existing, uh, which they have used access profiles. Now SailPoint released entitlements. They cannot just go away from access profiles and start using entitlements, right? Not like that. So for example, I'm working in a project where we have access profiles created and then added those access profiles to the role. Now SailPoint released entitlements. Directly you can add into the role, so you do not need to create access profile. I don't want to do that because I might lose I will definitely lose the uh, continuity of the work or the standards what we are following. We don't want to have some roles with access profiles, some roles with directly entitlements. That's a discontinuity, right? That is why we are not just me or not just my project, a lot of other projects also following the same. But yeah, it's up to you guys whether you want to use entitlements directly in role or you want to create access profiles first and then add that access profile to the role. It's up to your wish. But I would say most of the requirements, building access profile is going to give you more flexibility than adding entitlements directly to the role. But again, you just think about it and create the role by creating access profile or by creating entitlements. It's up to you. Okay. So what is the difference between access profile and entitlements? Access profile is collection of entitlements. Role is collection of access profiles. Now entitlements also you can add directly. Other than that, access profile it's only requestable. Role can be requestable. You see here you have access request. You can select it and select the approval scheme. Along with that, you can automate the role assignment as well. You can automate it. You have standard criteria. You have list of identity attributes or entitlements or account attribute from a source. You can have these conditions to automatically assign this role to the users. Or you can go for identity list as well. If you do not have any criteria, you just have like, okay, that user needs this access. These 10 users needs access. We do not have any common logic how to assign this role to those 10 users, just these 10 users. Then you can add those 10 users here from the drop down and select and add them here. Okay, so that is how you create the role. So just click on applications and then you see a list of applications. You can create a new application, add the application name, description, and then select the source. Whatever the sources you have created, those sources will be available here. You can have multiple applications created on same source as well. It's not like only one application can be created on top of one source, nothing like that. You can create a number of applications on top of every source. Okay, so if I take this application, um, you see here access, you can add the access profiles. Now if I go to my request center, requesting for myself, and then you see applications is listed here. Okay, so if you go to access profiles, you have a lot of access profiles in your organization or in your tenant. Thousands of access profiles will be there. I told you to have a recommendation in your access profile name which starts with or which will have prefix as the application name. Yeah, that's good. But still, it's not that easy to search over thousands of access profiles. That sometimes it may be matching with the name as well, you know. So there are chances that end users might select incorrect access even. That's why we would like to limit their search. We would like to limit their search results. So we will go for applications. Now end user will click on application, select this application. This will display all the access profiles you have added as part of this application. So at least even if they are selecting wrong access profile, but at least they are selecting from the same application what they are looking for. So it is going to be uh, helping us reducing the incorrect access requests. That is the biggest advantage of application, I would say. Actually, this is not the purpose of application. So why the application is there in the first place is SailPoint. I don't know. As far as I know, it started as it started as single sign-on solution. Even in one of my projects, we used SailPoint Identity IQ as an IGA tool, and for access management and single sign-on, we used Identity Now. Yeah, I didn't know as a single sign-on product. In fact, first product I have seen in SailPoint, I didn't see Identity IQ first. I have seen I didn't know. So at the time it was for single sign-on purpose. So whenever you access I didn't know console, home page, it will display the applications whatever you have access. Okay, when you click on that application, it will take, we call it as a launch pad. So you log into your SailPoint I didn't know login page, and then it will display a launchpad which will contain all the applications where you have access. When you click on that application, it will open in a different tab and it doesn't ask you to enter the credentials. So directly that application is accessible to you. That's very good. You do not need to remember the URLs, right? You just access that application and single sign-on, so you do not need to enter the credentials even. That is the purpose of application. But since SailPoint, I don't know, they have decommissioned their single sign-on features and access management. They moved to IGA space. They moved, I didn't know, to IGA space in 2021 or 22, somewhere around that time. I've read that as well. SailPoint official statement that we are decommissioning. Okay, so but still application is used for this purpose. And second is password reset as well. How you can reset the password? Now I can click on my name, click password manager. It will display all the applications I have access. I don't have any applications. So all the applications it will display, whatever the applications you have added. Okay, those applications you can go for password reset, right? So what is the purpose of application? Password reset. Second is it will be helpful in submitting access requests for end users. You and me are technical people. Don't think everyone is technical. Don't think everyone is aware of access what they are requesting for. We would like to make their life a better one, a easier way, and reducing the incorrect access requests as well. And the next stuff is segments. So if you take any segment here, let's say all employees segment, edit segment. So you can have conditions here in define segment, like let's say lifecycle state active. You will have all the active employees here. Define access. Let's say I'll go for star. It will display all the access. You can add access profiles, roles, entitlements to this segment. Okay, so only this access will be available or visible in the request center for these users only. Others cannot see that. Administrator by default everything is visible, but for end users other than administrators, so they will not be able to see unless they are in this segment. Okay, this is how we control who can see the access. And if they cannot see that access, either entitlement or role or access profile, they will not be able to request. So quick link population or dynamic scope in Identity IQ is nothing but segment in identity now. It's not like 100% same. There will be some differences, some limitations as well, but it will be really helpful. Most of us started IGA and we worked in SailPoint Identity IQ, and we are moving to identity now. Or you have already moved to identity now. If you use your old knowledge, it's going to be helpful to you for sure. In case if you are brand new in SailPoint world, there is no harm in learning both the products, right? As I said already, you will be working on migration projects one or the other day. At the time, it will be helpful to you. Okay, so this is what access model. This is what you need to work on in building the access model. So you need to work with your application team for the requirements. So to build the access model, you share the access template and get the data and configure accordingly, and then see if there is any requirement of controlling who can request for this access, who can see, or is it available to everyone. If it needs to be restricted, then you can use the segments concept. All right, that's about access model. See you in next session.